And we welcome you to the news at 5, where we are exploring Idaho, and take a look at this beautiful view above Horseshoe Bend, where the Payette River takes a U-turn. This town of just over 700 people is the largest city in Boise County. And Horseshoe Bend is today's destination in our Exploring Idaho series. It's just over 20 miles north of Boise on Highway 55, a fairly easy commute to the Treasure Valley or a quick getaway from the city. And when you get there, plenty of outdoor adventure. Our Dee Sarton and Brian Holmes are spending the day in Horseshoe Bend, and they join us now live along the beautiful banks of the Payette River.
Yes, we are, and it's kind of loud right here because I don't know if you can see, but we've got some rapids right behind us that have a story of their own, don't they, Brian?
They do. This is the Horseshoe Bend Kayak Park here, built here several years ago for people to kind of come up here and practice their skills. I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago, back in 2016, we did a feature on Trent Long, who's a member of the Long family that owns Cascade Raft and Kayak. He's a member of the U.S. national team in slalom single canoe. This is where he practices to get ready for that national team, and they'll run some cables across, they'll set up some gates, and he spends a lot of time, hours out here on this little stretch of the Payette River practicing his skills. It's amazing.
Well, because the river and the mountains around here really become a way of life. Yep. It is the way the kids grow up here. It's what they do to stay out of trouble if you talk to their moms.
Exactly.
You know, and for some of us, it might seem like these mountains are foreign territory. And if you're one of those people, then that's something that's exciting about visiting Horseshoe Bend, because the folks here are making it very welcoming for those of us who don't get to spend our everyday lives either in the water or up in the mountains. So let me just give you an example. Today, I went up into the mountains with Zip Idaho. Of course, we were zipping along on a zip line from the treetops, getting to see the beautiful Boise National Forest. And I talked to the owner of Zip Idaho because his family, right in these hills behind us, has an amazing story. They have owned hundreds of acres back there for over 100 years.
That's a long time, and that's going back to Oregon Trail kind of time.
It's crazy. And now he's opening it up via a zip line for you to enjoy. And I asked him today, what's it like to take a couple of thousand, I think he said they have 3, 4, sometimes 5,000 visitors a season up there zipping through his family's homeland. And I asked him to describe what that's like.
I would call it a true Idaho adventure, where you get to go in a van ride up a bumpy dirt road through a kind of a country setting, and then all of a sudden you get out of the van and you're in a beautiful spot in the mountains with a lot of times snow-capped peaks around and wildflowers and pine trees and magnificent views. So yeah, it's pretty neat.
Okay, here I go.
Okay.
All right, so I was one of those people that got to enjoy it just like a little kid today as I stepped off on my first experience on a Zipline tour, and it was wonderful. It's really exhilarating. It makes you feel kind of good that you have the courage to do it, even though, truth be known, it doesn't really take a lot of courage.
No, it seems so simple, but it's
very simple.
So rewarding, it seems.
And it's very safe.
Yeah.
You know, they went through the whole safety routine with us, and I did my studying up before I went, and so I felt very confident in the safety. But what I didn't expect was just that feeling of freedom that comes when you just let go and you are flying. I mean, they got up to 50 miles per hour at one point. Yeah.
It's like sticking your head out the window on the freeway.
Yeah, it really was. But you're not on the ground. You are flying over those beautiful ponderosa pines. Oh, it's just incredible, Brian. And so I highly recommend it. I hope a lot of people will give it a try, because I think it's one of those, you know, it's not something you're probably going to be able to do every weekend.
No.
It's kind of a once in a lifetime, if not just a few times in a lifetime experience. Definitely a way to get the kids out and see Idaho. The weight limit, as I mentioned during our 4 o'clock show, 75 pounds to 250 pounds. So you got to wait till the kiddos are 75 pounds so that they can zip down, but then also get back up.
Because it relies on your weight, yeah.
Yeah, it's all gravity based and everything, so it's really wonderful. But let's get back to the water.
Yeah.
Because there's so much, whether or not, I wouldn't want to be a kayaker, would you? I don't think I'm up for that.
I would actually like it, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to be zipped in it, but I would try it.
Okay, well and you can do that here. That's one thing you can do. But a lot of us would like to just watch other people do it. And there's a great opportunity coming up. So you can get your family up here in the Horseshoe Bend Banks area here real soon. And I want to show you this. This is from last year, but many of the world's best kayakers, they have their travel plans in place to participate in races on the North Fork of the Payette River June 14th through the 16th. It will be the 7th year for the North Fork Championships.
And last year, you may remember, many kayakers pulled out of the events, the 3 races, because of the high, fast, and treacherous whitewater, which was the result of the extreme snowpack we saw last year. This year, things are looking pretty good, like closer to normal, so the water should be good. And if you want to watch these amazing athletes on the water, again, the North Fork of the Payette River Championships, June 14th, 15th, and 16th, and that's just up Highway 55 here.
Yeah, and it is. I have had the privilege of watching a little bit of that, and you would not believe the skill that it takes to navigate and then to be able to actually race through the rapids. And oh man, it's fun to watch.
And making that drive yesterday, the river is kind of high right now. The water's still dealing with the runoff, and even it's high through here. But once it settles down, it's going to be very, very nice and very fun to watch.
And fun for your family this summer, because this is the area where you should take probably your first raft trip, don't you think?
Yeah.
Head up toward Banks and take one of those nice gentle raft trips. So you get the thrill of some good white water, but it's very family friendly.
And it's warm up here in the summer. You know, we're kind of in the mountains, but we're not that high. Our elevation here is actually lower than Boise. So it gets warm up here in the summer, so the water is very refreshing.
Feels good when it splashes over the side of the boat.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to keep exploring Idaho. We have more for you today at 6 o'clock, including it is wildflower season, Brian.
It's beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. So we'll be back with more. Don't miss it here as we continue to explore Idaho.
All right.